Obligatory podcast intro.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. I'm Matt, my co-host Adam. And this show is where we take all 87 letters of the alphabet and we put it in a vase.
That's correct.
Yeah, vase this time. And then we draw, pick a letter and pick a comic that begins with that letter. I don't know his. He doesn't know mine, and spoilers ahead for everything that we talk about, even if it's a movie that has nothing to do with these comics. Spoilers.
For everything, from the beginning to the end.
All
Spoilers.
of it, yeah.
All of it, yeah.
There's no time codes for you, so.
No, figure it out.
All spoilers. But, so I drew B.
And I got W.
W, yeah.
I was kind of worried at first with W because, like I said, I go to half price and, you know, they don't have an unlimited selection. So I was like, oh, hopefully they have a good selection of W's for me.
What would be the main...
Wonder Woman.
Yep, that's what I was trying... Yep, that's exactly
Yeah, when I looked at the W's, I go, oh, I can definitely find a Wonder Woman.
Because mine was Batman, and I was like, any character bat is everywhere.
Yeah,
so
if we wanted to be real selective with our choices, yeah, we could get dirty like that.
Which, I mean, we try. You know, there is going to be a week where I'm going to be like, screw it, I'm doing a Batman.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
eventually. I did the X-Men Avengers.
But that one was different, because that one was weird, because it's not the Avengers versus X-Men you would think of.
Right, that's true.
And it was from the 80s
it was,
or
and
90s.
I had definitely never heard of it.
Me neither.
That.
So that one made sense.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, I get what you mean. It's still X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. But so I got W, and like I said, it was Wonder Woman. But I was surprised, actually. I had like 5 actual choices I was looking at. I'm trying to remember what some of the other ones are, and it's going to pop to me into my head later. And whenever I don't need to know it, it'll pop into my head what the other ones were. But there was a bunch of good choices. But I picked up an Image comic called Witch Doctor. It is by Brandon Seifert and Lucas Kettner. Came out, I think in 2014, somewhere around there. And this is the graphic novel, the first one. And I just saw the art was cool. Didn't really read too much into it and grabbed it and read it and was pleasantly surprised again. I seem to be getting really lucky on the comics that I'm picking because I don't go super detailed into figuring out what I'm going to do.
Right.
So I had the one Lowriders in Space that wasn't great, but that was the worst one. So
That was for kids, though.
It was. It wasn't for
You
me.
didn't know that when you brought it.
No, I had no idea.
Till you probably got like 5 pages and you're like, son of a bitch, this is a kid's book.
Like 2 pages in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet.
it was super obvious.
So I've heard of this Witch Doctor before.
Yeah.
So Image, yeah, they'll have a lot of like the digital copies will have the, I guess, previews or something.
Yeah. It's like ad, basically.
Yeah, little sections of like the first few pages of a different Image comic.
Yeah.
So I've read some of this.
The
like
art's
I
awesome.
said, 2 pages.
The art's awesome and the story's cool.
Those look good.
You're kind of introduced to this world from the perspective of Eric Gast. He's a paramedic who just lost his job recently and was just hired by Dr. Vincent Morrow, what did he call himself? A paranormal doctor, I think is how he describes himself. So he's like Doctor Strange, kind of.
Right.
But more medical, way more medical than Doctor Strange goes.
So he could help me with like a sickness. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. He did regular doctor stuff, but he's like specializes in the crazy paranormal, and he can
like-
do magic and stuff.
He like kicks regular people out. He like someone comes in, they're like, "Doctor, I got this weird thing in my chest," and he like pokes them, and he's like, he can feel that they're real, and he's like, "Get out."
You're regular.
You're a normal. No.
That's gallstones. Go away.
Yeah, just go to a regular. This is a paranormal doctor.
Yeah.
So unless it's
Morrow.
a ghost in your chest, don't call to me. Don't
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the main character basically is Vincent Morrow, and then he's got a sidekick called
Doctor.
Penny Dreadful. She's like, I guess they're depicting her to be like 17, 18, something like that. She's real creepy looking. She's got a giant like Freddy Krueger claw hand.
It's like a lobster hand.
Like giant needle-like
crab
fingers, and she uses it to knock people out. So whenever they get it, like somebody's going crazy, let's say somebody's possessed, they roll up. Penny runs in, jabs them with her finger, and it's like anesthesia.
Oh, it's like a little
Knocks him
like a
out.
pressure point.
Literal liquid goes in. She's got stinger fingers. It injects a poison and it like paralyzes people.
That means
super useful.
That there's an extra sac somewhere
You
inside
can
of
see
her.
it. No. That's very funny you said that. On her fingers, there's purple sacs where the liquid comes out.
I like that detail. That's good.
Yep.
Because most people they don't do that.
This writer and creator and whatnot are awesome. Like this was really cool. So like you're introduced pretty quickly, kind of thrown in the deep end. They roll up on some kid that's possessed. The priest that was there, regular priest, knew he was possessed but couldn't do anything because it's weird in this world. Like he looks down on the priest real hard for even though the priest knows it's demon. He's like this bumpkin, this hillbilly bumpkin, doesn't know anything about demons. I'm the smart doctor and this is a dumb priest. That's how they play it off. He makes fun of him. He literally like puts
where
him
you
down.
think there'd be some overlap.
Yeah,
there,
exactly, or at least common decency.
Like the priest isn't the one saying this isn't real. He's like, hey, I need your help.
He's on his side, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
What a prick.
Yeah, it's weird. And he's just super arrogant. That's something right off the bat.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's
so he's really
evident.
good, and so he's good at both
top
jobs.
of his field. He's the top of his field.
Doctor and paranormal
for sure. So like they roll up on the kid who's possessed. They knock him out. They're talking to the parents about trying to heal the kid. So I'm not going to get in super details. That way you can still have fun reading it. But he ends up helping the family. It's a cool little twist. Oh, it's a demon in there. And the chick goes, Penny Dreadful goes, it's not a demon. And the doctor's like, you're an idiot. We all know it's a demon. We saw that it was a demon. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, talking down to her. And she goes, well, demon means one. And then that's the twist. Oh, he's got a bunch of demons in him. And that's really unusual, apparently. So that's
Call me shitload. Because there's a shitload of us in here.
Legion. Yeah, so like he's got like 18 demons in him or something, which is really weird.
That is a shitload of demons.
Yeah, he uses some silly MacGuffin umbrella that puts the demons back inside the kid.
Oh, he's got little trinkets?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So he's got the umbrella.
So he could roll with Constantine and Strange.
They're
He's
very
got
similar.
He's got some stuff, huh?
Very.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And so
I'm liking this.
At this point, the kid's not healed. They just put the demons back in him. So they're like, what are we going to do? What's going on? And at this point, they reference the Bubble Boy. His real name was, where is it?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
David Vetter was his real name. And he's the Bubble Boy, had no immune system. And they kept him in a bubble. So they relate this demon infection to him being a bubble boy because his soul and whatnot is your immune system for supernatural.
Okay.
So it means he doesn't have an immune system. That's why he has so many demons in him. Because a normal person can have one demon in him because they have a normal soul. But this dude's soul is sick, basically, which means he can't keep away any demons. So they all ran up into him and we're like, we're coming. They explain it. They're actually a larval stage of a full-grown demon. They have to get inside a person, grow, and then they pop out. It's really gross.
They pop out of people?
They show. It's really nasty, actually.
Straight xenomorph style?
Yeah, so like they figure that out, but then they realize there's no way to completely heal him. There's no way to cure him. They have to keep him in a bubble that keeps the demons at bay. So that's why they related it back to Bubble Boy.
Right.
So he puts a bunch of sigils and magical markings all the way around the family's house of the little boy, and that becomes the bubble where as long as he stays in this bubble, the demons won't come out, and he's a normal kid.
But they're still in him.
They're still in him.
Okay.
So they're thanking the doctor, and he goes, don't thank me till I cure you. You're not cured yet. As soon as you step out of that ring, the demons will pop right back out.
Yeah, so you go check the mail. Here come the demons.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like 3 stories in here. They're like really cool little, I don't know if you'd say vignette or whatever, but like monster of the week almost.
Oh, okay.
So he rolled up to this first one, took care of it. Oh, now something else is going on. We got to roll to a next one.
Do they come back around to each story, or
some of them are important for the continued story?
Oh, okay.
And then like they do lead into one another. They're in a row.
Yeah.
So they happen in a row. So one thing leads into another. For sure.
So is this kid's story important?
I would be surprised if he doesn't come back in some way.
So you don't know?
No, because I only read this. This is number 0 through 4, so it's 5 issues. and it's the first 5 issues that came out, 0 through 4. So they just basically pose a bunch of cool questions and cool stuff that they don't really answer.
So stick around.
Yeah, you better stick around and buy the rest of our comics. So it runs into the next story. I'm just going to really gloss over this one, but it was kind of cool.
Gloss away.
A cuckoo fairy. So you know what a cuckoo bird is? It's a bird that flies into another bird's nest, and they knock out eggs, and they put their own egg in it. So the other bird, it's parasitism.
Yeah.
Parenting or something. So they make somebody else.
And then they move down
that's where
the
word
block.
cut comes from.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, that's actually where cut comes from.
Really?
100%.
From cuckoo?
Yeah. Because they go in and they make you raise their kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's
I didn't know
where
that.
That actually comes
That's
from.
super interesting.
I'm glad we actually mentioned that. I wanted to tell this
You
little
cross
story.
that out on your notepad right there.
Oh, perfect. Mention cuck.
Brought up
Yeah.
cuckold.
Excellent. All right.
So what? Wait. Does the cuckoo just move down the block and
It
just like
keeps
check
doing
it?
it.
It like checks on his kids, or is
No,
it just
no. It's gone. That's the point. It can. It
it
doesn't
just
have to
bounces
use any of its own energy to raise children.
It just goes and makes
Pops
more.
out children. Pops them out.
It's like an evolutionary trait
It's
to
gnarly.
like do that
It's the roughest,
in
neatest
all of us.
evolutionary trait there
I
is.
had my kids and I was like, I want to have more, but I don't want to take care of them.
How can we figure this out?
I just go to Italy or something.
Yeah. All right.
Back.
We're
Come
getting
back
off
home.
track. I'm gonna forget. All right. So the cuckoo fairy.
So cuckolds.
Yeah. So the next page is them banging while he watches. No. So cuckoo fairy is exactly what it sounds like. It's a fairy that replaces your kids with their kids. So like a changeling is something they would call that as well. And they figure that out. Oh, we can't find the fairy. Where's the fairy? Oh, they do a cool little like detective work. They actually use like all of them work together. The 3 main people work together to do a little detective work, figure out where the main fairy's at. They go to take her out. Oh, they're having trouble taking her out. Penny can't take her out. She's having a lot of trouble. And Penny's like badass. Like she has. You haven't seen her get hurt yet, and she's just whooped people so far. She's like really hardcore. And
So the muscle.
she's fully the muscle of the
Right.
team. And you know what? Now's the perfect time to talk about her. I'm glad you actually brought that up. So in this comic, you find out more about who Penny is, what she is. She's not actually a girl anymore at all. She's some sort of crazy, they called it like emergent life form or something. So she's not a demon technically, but it's this giant like bug entity that lives inside of her.
Is that why her hands all fucked up?
Yeah, and when you find out that she's a cryptophage, which means she eats monsters.
Oh,
so
cool.
Specifically monsters. So like not really people, but they have to be.
So like on Earth, she would eat like Wendigos.
Yeah, any
and
sort
Bigfoot?
of zombies, vampires is what she mainly eats.
Oh shit!
The vampires, yeah. So
That's raw as hell.
it's really
dude.
cool.
That's awesome.
It's really cool.
I would totally read a comic about her.
Oh no! I wouldn't be surprised if, because this has
like
been out for a while, if they did a side one of her. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Image are good about that. They'll be like, yeah, I know we made someone else you want to read about. Like Walking Dead, they did the Negan and the Governor, I think.
Right.
Little side stories.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and then so they figure out the fairy thing. They take out the fairy, and it just straight up moves into the next thing immediately.
Oh really?
So one of the doctor's colleagues, Abby, found a merman, or they call him a gill person. She
Merman's offensive.
Yeah, so she says there's actually different. There's mer people and then there's gill people. They're not the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So gill people look like Loch
you
Ness
can't call me
monsters,
that.
or not
Oh.
Loch Ness monsters. The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Or like Cthulhu, like old ones or something like that. And so that's like the rest of the comic book is about that.
It looks like a super raw Battletoad.
With gnarly teeth.
Super
yeah, the
gnarly
mouth
teeth.
is kind of toadish for sure.
Yeah.
So the last few issues of the comic are all related to the gill person.
Mm-hmm.
So they go do some detective work. They show up to a spot that they think is where that gill person's from, that he was living in, aquarium. And they were like, oh, we'll show up and like maybe he's got a friend, or maybe he left some some sort of evidence of where we could find more or whatever. And they show up and they walk into like a arena type area, and there's like 60 Gill people just hanging out worshiping some crazy ass idol. And so like
are they in a jacuzzi, like they're chilling in the water?
It's like where they would have like a orca or like seals.
Oh right,
yeah,
right.
it's like a little show area or whatever.
Oh, I see the bleachers now.
Yeah. So they walk in. Oh crap, we got to get out of here. They try to run away. The doctor sees some stuff on the wall, some like hieroglyphs, basically, some cool drawings that the Gill people made, and he goes, "Oh, that's what it is," and like exclaims, "Now I understand what's going on." They don't tell you what's going on yet. And then as they're running out of the aquarium, they're in like one of those water tunnels where you walk through a big aquarium and the water's all the way over you the whole way. And as they're walking out, this giant, they describe it as Cthulhu's tapeworm, or it's like something similar.
Gross.
And it's this gnarly giant monster. You find out that's why they're all there, is because the giant monster's there, and they're like worshiping the monster.
Oh, that's what they were worshiping?
Yeah. No, actually, I'm about to get to it. They were worship these. They call them firstborns. So they you find out, because you're kind of seeing everything from the new guy's perspective. So like, oh, you don't know everything yet. So you find out what the hell's going on with all these fish people and what the hell's happening with this giant Cthulhu tapeworm. So it's like a truth of the whole universe. So this is like important. And like I said, this is only like 3 issues in. It's a spoiler, but it's the beginning of the story. So they're just opening things up, basically. So you find out it's basically Cthulhu shit. Billions of years ago, Cthulhu showed up. The world wasn't perfect, so they tried to change the world. It didn't work great, so they went into hiding. They're underground, and they had a bunch of parasites all over them because they're from a different galaxy or universe or whatever, like away, and they were giant. So they had all these little parasites. All the parasites hopped off and started growing and propagating, and they're where vampires come from. They're where all the monsters come from, because all the monsters and demon stuff are like physical things for the most part. Right. Like the vampire that they show, it's like if you know what a lamprey is.
Yes.
You know what, like it's like an eel, but also looks kind of like a leech.
Yep.
So that's kind of what is the actual vampire. It's just driving around your dead body, and that vampire or that leech needs blood to survive. So it's driving your dead body around so that you're a vampire, because it's got gnarly teeth and it looks like it's your teeth.
Oh, so you're not you?
No, at all. You're gone. Your brain's gone. You're dead. You're actually dead. And that vampire lamprey is driving you around like a car.
So they have their own personality. How can he drive a car?
So it doesn't actually have a personality. That actually comes up. So he's trying to expel the. We're sidetracked, but it doesn't matter. It's a cool idea.
At that shit.
It's a cool idea.
I should be a writer.
He does a spell basically on the lamprey to make it be able to talk and tell the truth. So it's like a truth / talking spell. Because he needs to find out how to kill it.
It can't talk, so it's just like.
At first it goes. And then like it starts talking.
Image, come hire me.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you've guessed like 4 things so far.
Dude, I do it every week, bro.
So they
go back and listen.
So he does the lamprey thing, takes it out, blah blah blah. Okay, that's side story. But so you find out in this world the big aliens. I'm going to recap slightly. Aliens come in. The world's not great.
Right.
They go to sleep, and all their parasites hop off. They become all the monsters on the earth. And so like these Gill people are related to that big monster in there, basically, and they're worshiping this big monster and the Cthulhu things, even though those Cthulhu things don't care about us at all. They don't even want to get rid of us. They don't care.
Yeah,
we're insufficient.
They just fell off of a thing, right? They fell off the big monsters that showed up.
The little monsters.
They just fell off something. They don't care about us.
Yeah, no, and like so, but these Gill people are worshiping the like Cthulhu things, whatever.
Right.
So that's what that's kind of like a big deal in this story or this world. That's something that they didn't know for sure, or that the Gill people were so related. So they didn't understand the conspiracy of trying to wake the old ones. So they're trying to wake the old ones is what the cult was trying to do.
Okay.
So they're trying to bring back they're called Archelons, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And they're trying to bring them back so they can like rule the world or something,
Yeah,
even
of
though
course.
they don't care. Like
Yeah.
the Archelons don't care about us.
Yeah,
But
so
these
why would
people
they
think
wanna...
they do. And the reason they explain why these people or these guild people are worshiping it is because they interbred with humans, and he says it like 3 times. Humans will worship anything. That's like his punchline, or like his like tagline. He's like, humans will worship anything. So he says that's why they are worshiping these things. The regular monsters don't worship anything. They don't care. It's whenever you start breeding humans into it, because we'll
With
worship
guild
literally.
people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You become
Human-like.
Yeah, you become like a human and will worship shit.
So
So that's how they explain it.
So they breed with us. They get our giant empty void.
That idiocies.
Well, I mean I was half joking, but seriously, in all seriousness, it's a giant void,
Right.
that we try to fill with
Something.
anything.
Something.
The answer to questions we can't answer, which is God,
Yeah.
children, laughter, drugs, alcohol, money.
Yeah. Exercise.
Anything,
List goes on
coffee,
forever.
yeah, everything.
Yeah.
So it's that sucks that they take that after. They're like, y'all get all the horrible shit
Yeah.
that we.
Well, it gives them a weakness at least.
They're like, man, you ever like stared into like a deep cavern in the water and just wanted to jump in? What is that? They're like, oh, you get that too? We have French people. They call that it's staring into the void or whatever. That's what we do too. Yeah, you got that? That's a rough deal.
So that's kind of what it ends on. It technically ends on the lamprey vampire at the last issue.
But it's solved.
Yeah. The other thing is the guild people thing is solved. They took out all the guild people. He did some cool stuff. I didn't want to get into it, so I didn't spoil.
He killed them all.
Yeah, he got rid of them all.
Damn.
Yeah, like all of them.
That
It was really cool too.
That dude's pretty raw.
It was really cool. Like I don't want to get after the show. I'll tell you.
so he can hang with Constantine and Strange
So
and
one
all
of
these.
one of his big perks that he has over other magicians, I would say, and magic people, is that because he's like a doctor, he made all the spells into pills. So he can just take a pill instead of doing like a multi-minute speech that's a spell, abracadabra, doing hand signs, drawing stuff in blood. He can just pop a pill, and that's how that's how he ends up being able to take out 60 mer people or gill people or whatever.
Yeah.
Is he takes one of these pills and just whoops ass with it. It's really cool. And the paramedic guy gets to take one too. And he gets to do some cool stuff for a minute as well.
Okay.
So he gets a time to shine. Penny Dreadful in this part, whenever they run into the guild people, I kind of glossed over it. She runs immediately.
Oh, really?
She sees the guild people and like says run. I think she says run and then runs away.
She knows something they don't.
Right, she did. Like she sensed it because she can sense like
the
monsters. And she's got that power. And so that was really cool. But so she runs, and then so they have to kind of use their stuff to take out the mer people, and they end up doing some more detective work. Actually, so that's actually 2 parts. They fight some and run away from the mer people at one point, and then they go back to take them out. And when they go back to take in the first part, the paramedic gets to shine, and the second part, the doctor gets to shine, and
Right.
Penny's there too at that point.
And Penny's there.
And Penny's there.
So so what is the second volume about? Is it I know it's linked, it's one continuous story,
Right.
but like I hope the demon kid from the first story comes back, and then obviously if the guild people are trying to bring back God, you can assume someone else probably is.
That's you see a separate cult at the end.
Really?
They show up to the guild people spot.
That's fine.
And one guild person comes back and runs into them, and they're wearing the plague masks.
Yeah,
the big bill plague masks, and they kill they knock them out at least. They knock out the guild person, and it looks like I mean there's some other sort of cult. Basically.
Right. So yeah, someone else is trying to do it as well.
And this world's populated by like a magic overseer, like a society that he gets in trouble with and has to report to and follow guidelines and stuff. So like it's a really rich world that seems really expansive, and that's why I went and got the second one as well.
So All right, so check this out.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Kyle Barnes, who loved ones have been involved in demonic possession since his childhood. With the help of a clergyman, he tries as an adult to unveil what lies beneath supernatural manifestations and why he seems to carry special peculiarities. So this is Outcast from Image as well.
Really?
So this dude is out there. He's about to figure out what is going on with his demon possessed family, and he's about to die. And then boom, Victor runs in. Witch Doctor runs in.
Yeah.
Morrow,
Vincent
right?
Morrow, yeah.
Dr. Morrow. He runs in and is like, blah, 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 save the world. He does a spell, makes everything go crazy, right? Everything reverts back to like 2009, 2007.
Okay.
Right?
When this came out.
Yeah, so everything reverts to that time.
Right.
No more Witch Doctor, no more Kyle Barnes.
Oh, damn.
Disappears, but only one thing is left in the universe, and that's one zombie. And then it goes into
The
Walking Dead, which is
Nice.
also
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely what happened.
And then like years and years later, we get to that the guy who goes to the other universe to save people.
Yeah.
That happens later.
Oh, that one's cool.
But no, I was thinking this Outcast is demonic and demons.
Yeah.
And so like I wonder if they're connected at all.
Image will do cross stuff, but a lot of times it's self-contained.
Right.
A lot of time.
Oh no, they're about to die, and then Invincible saves them.
That's
That's what happened
through the multiverse into the Nice.
Well, he's Image.
Yeah.
So they're all.
Well, that's how he interacts with other.
But
stuff.
Image doesn't have a universe.
Yeah.
Obviously, because any universe The Walking Dead exists in is like.
Yeah. Right.
Either better be the past, where they're like, this is Houston, Texas, year 3109.
The
but they're
superhero
not.
Image ones do a lot of crossover stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Because they can.
Yeah.
But I like this one, man. This one sounds very interesting. I don't want to like compare it to Constantine because obviously it's a different style, flavor. He's a different character.
It's funny too. I didn't really mention that. Like, there's quite a few parts that were like actually pretty funny too.
I get into stuff like that, man. I always like a guy who's like, yo, I'm part of this world that no one really knows about. I see things that exist that no one has any clue exist. I know how to fight things you can't begin to fathom. I love a character with that kind of, I guess, dynamic.
There's like a whole magical like society in this world.
And I like that.
But the regular people don't know about it.
Oh, so it's very hidden.
It is. Like I said, the possessed boy, he had to explain everything to them. They never heard anything. And with the cuckoo fairy at the hospital, some people saw it and he was like, yo, like you were hallucinating or something. There's a gas leak.
Okay, so what makes people see it? They just have sensitive to magic?
Oh no,
Or
it's all there.
supernatural?
Most things are good at hiding.
Oh.
They just like actually are all secretive. And
So could
whatnot.
it be like an open mind? Like if I could see them and I told
if you
you
accept
about
something's true, then it's usually easier to see it. That's for
Right.
sure.
Well, like I have a theory. It's just a fun theory. We're like off topic now.
Yeah.
But I have a theory about ghosts and demons and stuff within our universe. Is like, and I don't believe this. It's just a thought I've had where it's like your brain has to be attuned. You have to have certain switches flipped to see. So ghosts and monsters and fairies and all that bullshit. It's like all around us constantly. Like it's around us right now, right? But you don't ever pull up to Walmart at noon and be like, I'm fucking scared. I'm
saw a
scared to
ghost
go in
over
there. You
there.
don't see ghosts.
Yeah.
So, there are stories, but you generally don't see ghosts at 1 p.m. at the fucking Burger King. You know what I mean? So it's always certain. So you pull up to a dark abandoned house and you don't decide, oh, I'm scared. You immediately know. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So what if your brain has to have the right switches flipped to go, I can see that ghost now because it's there. They're all there. And you have to be at a certain mindset to see that. You have to be here to see. That's why you don't see them regular. That's why we don't see them now. Like our brain's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe it's true.
I know what you mean.
It's
though.
just interesting to think about.
Yeah.
You pull up to a dark house and you're not like, I'm deciding to be afraid. You either are or you're
it just
not.
hits you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you walk in and you go, oh,
Get that
something.
chill because it's a very
Exactly.
physical feeling. It's a
Yeah.
real feeling.
Yep.
It's a very real feeling. That's
I mean,
for sure.
I've walked into a house before and I was literally, dude, no joke, literally about to be like, y'all got ghosts? And she was like, are you afraid of ghosts? And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like, y'all have ghosts? And she was like, yeah, we got ghosts. And I was like, oh, God, that's fucked up. I did not sleep that night. I didn't see a thing, and I got super drunk
Yeah.
to be like, I'm making sure I'm passing out. I still didn't. I laid awake listening to freaking the same album over and over again.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was like it was dark and I couldn't see the radio, so all I could find was the play button. So I just had to let the keep
just
same
let it
album
ride.
just over and over again. But yeah, no man.
It was cool.
That's-
Sometimes I say recommend and I don't recommend. I do recommend this one.
Nice,
It's really,
yeah,
really cool.
I'm gonna borrow it for sure. I haven't read Paper Girls yet. It's so hard because like I want to read my stuff, and then I also am reading like The Last Ronin, Ninja Turtles, and then I'm reading Thor because I'm trying to get to the King Thor stuff.
Yeah.
And you're constantly picking up all types of things. You're like, I got to read that, this.
I read a lot
You
now.
read a lot.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids. I can't read all.
I
have
definitely
to,
have more time. That's
dude,
for damn sure.
It's straight up like, Daddy's going to go do some work now.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I really have to be like, I'm going to read comics, but I'm trying to do it for this.
Let me
So-
cook. Let me cook.
Like, Daddy's work, and you're reading about a vampire.
Yeah,
Dad-
I
Dad-
saw, Dad. You're playing with comics.
Yeah.
Dad, I saw you're playing with comics.
That's what I have to do, though.
Don't lie to me, Papa.
All right, man. So I got B. I'll just say now, I had a lot of trouble finding
For B.
for B. Yeah, and it's Batman. Like I said, bat everything. But yeah, I was struggling, man. I couldn't find nothing grabbed me, man. And then I found this. It was it's called Blood and Dust: The Life and Undeath of Judd Glenny.
Yo, that's the title.
Terrible. No, it's crazy mouthful title. Let me see if I got it. Blood and Dust: The Life and Undeath of Judd Glenny. Created and written by Michael R. Martin and Adam J. Orndorff.
Ooh.
Illustrated by Roy Allen Martinez and coloring by Raymond Lee. All right, so Judd Glenny, love that name. I had to write it down because I'm like, what the fuck was his name again?
Glenny.
All right, so Judd Glenny is the first American vampire. Once he terrorized the West as its most fearsome predator, but for more than 40 years now, he spent his days in peace. Reduced to little more than babysitter for his own vampire offspring. But when the evil that lives in the swamp surrounding the small backwater town he calls home gets a hold of one of Judd's great grandkids, everything changes. So this dude has lived in this town for 40 years. So it's set in 1971. And this guy's been alive since 1861.
Oh, okay.
And longer because the picture, see, there's a picture of him. 1861. He's already a grown man
Oh, yeah, I see that.
with wife and children.
Yeah.
So he's basically been babysitting for 40 years. So his daughter turned or became one. I think he turned her. Something happened. They haven't got into it yet. The mom changed and the grandkids have changed. So she turned the grandkids.
Okay.
So they're stuck as a 3-year-old,
Oh, yeah.
4, 8, 12. Yeah, they're 3 children. Oh yeah, I got a picture here. Those are the 3. So young children.
Holy
It's
crap.
Grandpa Glenny. It's baby Hazel. The young boy is named Zeke. The older kid is Saul, and that's Mama. So Mama's messed up. Apparently, she's sick. That's what they just keep saying.
Yeah.
She's a little different.
That's like a southern thing.
So the kids
She's sick.
So the grandpa and the kids, they eat like deers, right? So if I think Mom's got like a big craving for human.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like if she gets out and loose, she's
wearing a chain in the picture.
yeah, so she's chained up. I
Yeah.
was gonna get to
Yeah.
it. So anyway, they're chilling. The grandpa, the kids are playing, and Zeke is bothering baby Hazel, and grandpa gets mad, and he chokes him. He throws him up against the wall and stabs him. Leaves him stuck in the wall with the knife. And you don't know that they're vampires at this point. So he's like, I told you. You mind me. He's like, don't you treat your sister like that. And he's like, I just need you to be nice to your sister. and then it shows the kid, and he's like, oh, I was just playing.
Yeah.
So he's sitting
damn.
there hanging from the wall. So he hears a knock at the door. And the kid's like, when you going to let me down? He's like, when you learn your goddamn manners.
Ooh.
So he walks outside. So we're introduced to this man, Eddie Jacob. So what is it? A couple months ago, I believe. Yeah, a month ago, his son went missing. And I mentioned the swamp is dangerous. So the kid was down by the swamp, and he went missing. And then I think it was a day or two later, Judd comes walking up to the sheriff's office with the kid.
Okay.
And he returns him. And Eddie Jacob was like, yo, who saved my kid? I need to go thank him. He goes into town, and everyone's like, nah, you don't want to, don't go up there. You don't want to mess with them. And he's like, well, who is it? And he's like, no, you don't want to know any of that. So one dude gets drunk enough to start talking shit, and he's like, he straight up was like, he's a vampire. You don't want to go up there. And this Eddie Jacob dude was like, he's like a non-vet. So he's no nonsense. Oh, he's a Marine. So he's like, he's not scared.
Yeah.
So he just goes up there and knocks on the door, and the grandpa's, what do you want? He's like, man, listen, you saved my son. I just want to thank you for it. And the grandpa was kind of taken back because he's like, man, 40 years I've been saving children from that swamp.
Uh-huh.
And no one's ever come to thank me. So he's like, well, what's up? Let's kick it for a spell. Like, what do you want to know? And he's like, what are you? And they never really get into it. And then the oldest grandson's like chasing a deer in the front yard.
Uh-huh.
And they run off into the woods. So as they're talking, the young kid comes running back and is like, the swamp took Saul. So Grandpa's like, all right. So, here's the shot of him. He's got his giant.
Oh, scythe.
He's got a giant sickle or scythe.
Yeah.
It's not a sickle. It's a scythe.
Scythe.
Okay, giant scythe, and he's going out into the woods to go after this, basically an evil swamp thing.
Yeah.
So
okay.
you find out it's a giant swamp monster. So it's doing flashbacks to when, what was it, 1970. 1936. Sorry, I was off. 1936. It shows him talking to his friend Emmett, and he's like, "Listen, I know you live up in that house." So he's already living in the town, and he's like, "There's children going missing, and everyone's starting to think it's you because you're up here. They don't know you.
Yeah.
They know you're a little creepy. They're starting to assume."
Yeah.
So he's
people
like,
assume the worst.
all right, well, I didn't take the kids, and his friend Emmett's like, I know, we need to figure this out. So he's like, okay, whose kid is missing? It's like, it's a big hot shot in town. He's rich. He's got power. He's like, if I save his little bastard kid, can he get people to leave me alone? And Emmett's like, yeah,
Probably.
he can. So he's like, all right, let's go do that. So he immediately goes to the swamp thing, and He goes to the swamp. He ends up fighting the monster. And he says he could have, killed him a bunch of times. Doesn't know why he didn't. He would just save children, cut him up, fight him, get the kid out, and leave. Right? So he saves the kid.
Repeating the same thing.
He's kind of okay with it. He never got into why he never killed him. He's just like, I should have. It was dumb thinking on my part. Why did I do that? So he ends up saving this hotshot's daughter, or son. I don't remember. They had long hair. I don't remember if it was
their kid.
Yeah, their kid. And he ends up taking him back to him and tells him, hey, make sure everyone leaves me alone. So the town pretty much does. He's been living up there for 40 years with his vampire grandkids and his crazy daughter that's chained up at the top. So he goes out into the swamp, got his scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his scythe. He's ready to go fuck shit up. So when he goes and finds the swamp monster, it's like way stronger. And he's like, this is new. Just because you learn something's different. But just because you learn new tricks don't mean you can stop me. And the swamp monster ends up coming out and saying, all these years you fought me and you were another like me. And he says, I know, I can tell now, we're familiar. You are not cool. Not cool. You are not cool. So you are, and then A-N, new word, N-A-K, new word, K-U-L.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the N is like
and Aknu.
Yeah, or
that's
and
part
not
of
cool.
them.
You are
Yeah.
and not cool like a name.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that's what they are.
So-
Never go into it.
So they're both the same thing, even though one's just like a vampire and the one's like a swamp monster.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
So he gets live with them. He ends up beating Grandpa, Mr. Glenny, Judd Glenny. So he ends up beating him, man. He's got him wrapped up in his little tendrils, his little swamp vines,
Gross,
and
sticky tendrils.
So he's sitting there, and I think Zeke sees him go in there. So him and Eddie are at the outside of the basically where the swamp starts.
Oh, the
in
edge
the woods,
of it or whatever. Yeah.
And there he's firing a shotgun in there, and he's like, "We got to save my grandpa and my brother." And the human regular Eddie is like, what do we do? And he's like, "You got to get out of here. I'm going to get my ma." So he runs inside. And he convinces Eddie to like go. He's like, "Listen, I can't protect you from my mom." So he's like, he goes in there and he sees his mom. And yeah, here's the two shots I saved these. They end up telling her, "Hey, Saul and Grandpa are in trouble." So she's changing. You see how it's normal?
Yeah.
And then there's one shot, she's normal face. Next, it's very clear vampire.
Right.
Red eyes.
She looks awesome.
Super awesome. So she's like, "Where's the old man?" And then that.
Oh, that's dope.
Right? So it's her standing there with the two kids on either side. She's got chains, and she's like, "Let's fucking go."
Yeah, now take me to your grandpa.
Yeah, take me to your grandpa. So they go out there, 3 deep, and they end up fighting. They end up talking to each other, the swamp monster and grandpa. And so apparently the swamp thing, monster, keep calling him swamp thing.
Yeah.
Swamp monster. If he eats children, he gets stronger, and then he says something about, "I'm going to eat you, and I'm going to eat your grandson, and then I'm going to walk out of here." So something about eating these things is going to allow him to either
Leave.
form humanoid or just be powerful enough to leave the swamp he's been, I guess, stuck in for 40 years now. So he says, "I'm walking out of this swamp after I eat you." So Mom, the two kids show up. They all start fighting. So it cuts to Eddie, and he's out in his car. He's like, "Man, I owe this dude a lot. He saved my son." He's like, "I also owe that fucking swamp." So he opens up his trunk, and he's got a can of gas, and he's like
Nice.
singing Johnny Cash's "Ring of Fire." So Mom and everyone go out there. Look at her. Stay away from my son.
Oh, damn.
So she ends up showing up out of the blue, Deus, like out of the, "Oh, I'm about to kill you," last second. A chain wraps around him. So he's like sprouting heads, the swamp monster. And she's hitting him with chains. She's punching him. She's ripping him apart. And he just keeps popping up and popping up. Oh, yeah, that's the scene of her fighting him. I got that just for you.
Oh, that's sick.
The art is raw.
I like it a lot.
It's very cool. It
Her
reminds me
face-
a lot of Marvel stuff, like some
It
darker
does.
Marvel
like the
things.
2008
Yes.
to semi-recent Marvel.
Where I mostly was reading comics
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
So-
she looks like her face. Sorry, I have to say it. It's gonna burn a hole in my brain. She looks like Pitt. Do you remember her?
Oh,
Pitt?
yeah.
Her face, but not her body. She's not big and buff like Pitt. But the way her vampire face looks reminds me of Pitt.
She's pretty raw, dude. She's hardcore.
It looks
not,
awesome.
Not raw enough. So
Oh.
the swamp monster ends up getting all of them caught. And he's like, "Man, I'm dining tonight." And he's excited because he's like, "You kids and your mom are just like him. And y'all are special." So eating regular kids versus eating half-breeds and full vampires is different. So
Yeah.
he's super psyched, right? And then he's like, "What's this?" Giant flames everywhere. So Eddie just burned the whole fucking
Hell
forest.
yeah.
He's like, "I'm lighting this whole
Fuck
swamp
it.
on fire." So then the next shot is Grandpa with Mom and the 3 kids. And he's like, "Now it's our turn."
Oh,
So
nice.
they just start beating the shit out of this swamp monster, all of them together. And he's on fire. And then he does this crazy spell. He's like, "It's time for you to go back to sleep." He's like, "You're going to sleep some more." So I still don't think he killed him. So he does this spell, and then he
The grandpa.
The grandpa, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grandpa does the spell, and the swamp monster's gone, disappeared. So he's not there anymore. He's either asleep and still there, or he's gone.
Yeah. He's not there now.
Not there now. At least not awake if he is there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, he might just be in, like, sleeping. Under.
So at the last second, he grabs the little daughter right before the swamp monster disappears. The mom jumps in, and then 1 second she's in, the next second the daughter's flying out. So she saved the daughter, and she was like, I'm saved by mommy, which is crazy because the mom can shift. She can be like this caring mother, and then the next second she's this crazy monster vampire. So the mom runs out of the fire, blows him a kiss, and then takes off towards town.
Oh.
So the grandpa was like, shit. He's like, Eddie's like, is that bad? And he's like, that's worse than this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that may be the end of, like, the entire town, if that's small.
Yeah, we hope it's only that.
Yeah, so the next issue is, I don't fucking know. Because I did it again.
Yeah.
I picked another comic
That doesn't finish.
that does not finish. It goes to 3 and it stops. So when I tried to look up issue 4 and 5, I kept getting a Kiss comic. For some reason, it would say Blood and Dust issue 5, and it was the Kiss comic.
Yeah, like
and I'm like, what is
the
this?
band Kiss, right?
I mean, images, websites, it's so weird. So apparently what I had was like a volume of 1 through 3.
Okay.
And it says volume 1 on it, collects 1 through 3. There is no 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't exist. They have not finished it. I couldn't find an article, couldn't find anything about it. The only thing I found was a Kickstarter page for the volume 2.
Oh.
And it was a picture of
When was the Kickstarter thing? Old?
Oh, yeah, it was old. Like 2018.
Oh, no.
So I don't know when this came out because, like I said, the things on the internet were real iffy. And I saw 2016, I saw 2019. So I don't think I'm going to ever get to finish Judd Kitty's.
What the fuck,
And dude, they built up the mom.
Yeah.
Like, yo, she's so crazy. She's so raw.
she looks awesome.
She got loose. She's headed towards town. We got this Marine and the 3 kids and me. Like, oh man, they did such. Okay, so
The build-up was amazing, for
it's
sure.
so good. Okay, it was done by Action Comics Danger Lab.
Okay.
So-
Oh, is that like their, like, new people line or something?
The Action Lab, the one you're thinking of, is something different.
Oh,
It's
okay.
completely different. So look, that's theirs. The other comic that I was going to do was called Brigands.
Uh-huh.
And it was done by Action Lab. So
As
both
well.
comics that I was going to choose were done by this company. They're still around. They still seem to be around unless everything I found was old. But there is nothing about this
What?
at all. And I was more disappointed with this than the Orphan and the 5 Beasts.
Yeah.
So bummed out. Dude, I wanted to come right out and just be like, I love this. I loved it. It was fucking fantastic. The grandpa was cool in all the right ways. You were like, oh, he's some old cranky ass. Like, no, dude, this is like Clint Eastwood at its fucking rawest.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like Mama was insane. Eddie Jacobs, I was like, I hope this dude sticks around because he was a badass. He was a badass Marine from Vietnam. Like, he set the whole forest on fire to save a bunch of vampires. This shit was so sick, and then just nothing. Gone. Just radio silence, man. I want Action Lab, Danger.
Figure your shit
what is it?
out.
Action Comics, Danger Lab. Get your shit straight, all right? I know you got cool stuff. I wanted to do Brigands. I'm going to be reading Brigands. If you ever hear this, fuck it, get with us, man. We need to finish Blood and Dust. This shit was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, it was so cool. Such a good story. Like I said, everything, they were all cool in the right way, man. So bummed
I
out.
really liked the art. The
The-
art was really, really good.
Writing, the art, the story, the fighting, everything about it was so cool. The hints at a larger world. He said an Anaxul,
Yeah.
meaning like there could be multiple things out there that are similar to these guys. He ends up saying a line about we're not the same demon. So he called him a demon, and then he did that spell where it made him disappear, right? So I don't think they are the same thing. I think the swamp monster was like, we are the same. We're familiar, same blood. We're both the same entity. But I think the grandpa was implying like, no, we're not. we're different. You're a demon, I'm a vampire, we're different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to fucking know. Like, damn it, dude. I can't keep doing this. Like, I don't do research either.
I know. That's funny that it's happened twice to you.
When I read that backsplash, I was like, yes, this is. I was having trouble until I found that, and I was like, yep, this is it. Fuck yeah. My wife heard how excited I was, and then she was in bed and heard me going, oh, I did it again. I did it again. And she was like, what? And I was like, I fucking did it again. I was like, I can't finish this. Like, and I don't want to start and read something else. I didn't want to pick up Brigands and be like, oh, this is what I did.
Yeah.
I picked this one,
Yeah.
so I'm staying with it.
I'm glad you stayed with it. I am. That's the I don't know what I was trying to say.
Man, 5 episodes, and 2 of them have just been big old sets of blue balls,
Yeah.
bro. Orphan and the Five Beasts was cool as hell. Blood and Dust, The Life and Undeath of Judd Kinney was badass. I'm going to look up the writer specifically, the writer and creator, and find if they've done other stuff, especially with Action Lab, Danger Comics, because
Yeah.
like they do have cool stuff. I looked at a multitude of their titles, and besides, like I said, I was going to read Brigands anyway. Then I realized I've seen that it's the same one as Judd Kinney, so it's Judd Glenny. So I like the company, man. It's a small company that I can get behind,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just not till you give me my Judd Glenny, man. You can't. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, it sucks. I understand. There's financial.
Yeah.
The way the country is, man, it's hard to even pay your rent. So I get it.
Oh, that's so crazy.
But damn it, I want some more volumes of that, man.
Damn, dude.
I'd be like, I would have a box for those comics. You know what I mean? Like, I would go to the store and be like, I need.
Yeah.
It's probably, honestly, I'm trying to think of all the ones we've read. That's probably my favorite one that I've read.
Really?
I haven't gave 10 thumbs up yet, but 10 thumbs up. No, 9. One down because it's not finished.
and probably never will.
But 9. Ugh. All right, so I'm gonna bring all this anger to Matt
fight.
versus Adam.
Our fight, good.
You ready to fight? Cause I'm gonna fuck you up, bro.
Nah, I don't know, man.
Oh,
It's tied up now.
I'm pissed. Oh, it is tied. You're right. All right, so what are we doing? I haven't got to pick yet. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna just do Marvel. I'm gonna just do straight up
Cool.
Marvel, and I'm gonna go first.
At least we'll probably know.
Oh yeah, I didn't say what this is. So this is Matt versus Adam. We take a random character generator on these TikTok filters, and we see who we get, and then we see who would win, me or Adam. Ooh, I got Thanos, bro.
Nah.
I got Thanos.
Damn. Miss Marvel. Oh, yeah, you're definitely going down, big guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
I
going to
don't-
stretch out and touch you.
You might make your fist a little big. And
Yeah.
That was Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
So Kamala.
yeah. The
So
worst one.
What is she? Yeah. Well, Spectrum, you'd have a chance. In
Yeah,
the comic,
exactly.
Spectrum's strong as shit.
Yeah, and yeah, the real Miss Marvel, yeah, she would whoop your butt possibly. But,
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but you got Miss Marvel.
I did.
So how strong is she?
Ugh, I don't think very.
Like,
but
I mean, we know
I'm trying
Thanos
to-
is wrecking shop.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but like in the comics, her powers are completely different than what they did in the movie.
Yeah, well, we're not going off MCU.
I
shit.
know. I'm just saying, like a lot of people wouldn't be familiar. She literally does like big fists and is like kind of stronger. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she does. Embiggening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, that's the dumbest. I mean, all comic things are kind of dumb, but
But isn't it just? What's the difference between her and Reed Richards? Like, what is that?
yeah, I think
Is she not stretchy?
I think it comes. It's different. It's not the same thing somehow. I mean, Reed Richards can go really above and beyond what most people think he can do. He can like stretch out for miles and stuff, and
Yeah.
he's really resilient.
He like change his face.
Yeah,
and
he's
all
really
types of
really
things.
resilient and all that. And I've never seen her do that.
No.
I've literally seen her punch stuff with a big fist.
All right, so she's got morphogenetics, which sounds like she can do that.
Yeah.
So superhuman elasticity, plasticity, and malleability.
Okay.
So I can punch you into any
Yeah.
fucking shape I want.
So more close to him than I thought.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Appearance, size, alteration, regenerative, healing factor, bioluminescence. What does that mean?
I can glow.
You can.
You Thanos.
Watch out, Thanos.
Back up. You
I got
better
a-
not be in a dark room.
I got a nightlight.
A dark room that I will reach across and touch you gently.
Shape-shifting and unrevealed mutant power.
Shape-shifting. Okay. So maybe I could actually do something with shape-shifting. If you thought I was somebody else, I could get up
What?
next to
You
you.
gotta sucker punch me once?
Well, I could use like the what is it, the ultimate nullifier or something on you.
You don't have that. This is. Remember, we were like,
Yeah, I know.
I just got a slice of
I
pizza.
know.
You're walking home from the library, and we're like, oh shit.
So I would bioluminescence in your eyes.
I
And-
can't see.
And then I would stretch out
It's
and
so
get away
bright.
from you as much as possible, and then you would have to chase me. And then maybe after 400 years of chasing me,
Nah, bro, I got the Thanocopter.
oh shit!
I got the Thanos
didn't
copter.
even think that.
I'm fucking.
Oh damn! I'm just barely stretching too.
I see your giant fist from here. So we know Thanos is just super strong. I mean,
Yeah.
even without the glove,
It
he's
doesn't
fighting
matter.
Hulk. He's fighting
Yeah.
Sentry,
Doesn't
Blue Marvel.
matter.
Although I think those three.
together.
Oh no, those three together are killing him.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, all right. So I've read a comic where Thanos is already like, look, I can fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
And then Hulk has said the same thing about the Void. Is like, I can fight him. I'd just rather not.
Yeah.
I really don't want to.
Doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, so Thanos is up there with the strongest. I mean,
Yeah.
he's cosmic. He's a
Cosmic
deviant?
character.
Deviant, right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a Titan or whatever.
He's a Titan.
A deviant version of a Titan.
he is a deviant, I think.
Yeah. So like,
Because his grandpa is a
because humans can be deviant too, but like he's from Titan or whatever. So like he's a deviant Titan. So slightly different.
Yeah.
Because all those other Titans were super strong.
Well,
as well.
Yeah, that's
Or
like
magical in
isn't
some
that
way.
where like a deviant is hooking up with a human? In that like
They like put deviant genetics back in the beginning, the same time they put mutant genes in there, but the deviant thing popped out early.
yeah, because that's where mutants came from. Is like
That's
Eternals
one of
and
the,
shit,
yeah,
right?
one of the ways they explain it.
So yeah, I'm gonna see. All right, just for fun,
Yeah.
superhumans. This is Thanos.
Oh, okay.
Superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, and agility. Access to nearly all powerful mystic artifacts and weapons, which don't count.
yeah,
Superhuman physiology of Eternals. So yeah, dude, he is a
yeah, an Eternal. Or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, it says place of origin. Titan. He's an eternal deviant hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his grandpa was an eternal. So when an eternal hooks up with something else, it becomes a deviant. That's where the monsters and shit came from. That's where all the deviants, I believe, came from. I could be wrong. Don't at me. I don't care. Skilled hand-to-hand combatant, plasma
Still
energy
going.
projection, genius level intellect, nigh invulnerability, master tactician. Right, you're getting smashed by the Hulk, and I can stand up to the Hulk. So there's no contest.
No,
I'm
there's
destroying you,
I
Miss Khan.
literally couldn't do anything.
No.
Like if I got inside your body, I'm so weak. I couldn't even do anything.
Oh, can she shrink?
She can stretch and stuff, so I would imagine she can go in holes.
Oh, okay. Okay, now we can get creative
Like
here.
If you
'Cause-
need to breathe, maybe I could suffocate you.
Well, he does need to breathe, right? I mean,
Eventually,
he might be
right?
able to hold his breath for like
But
weeks
he's
or
like a
months.
cosmic character, so I'm sure that's how they. He's like, yeah, I have
That's
to breathe,
true.
but every 4 months. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah, I got chill in space for fun.
Yeah.
When I'm hot. And I just want some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
But no, think about it. Thin finger, right? Like like thin, razor sharp. You could do that, right? If she
Yeah,
can
probably.
change her. Well, she that detailed with her. Anyway, you get a finger up in the nose into the brain,
Yeah.
or the ear. You could do it. If you can make them sharp. I don't think she's strong enough to like pull any like his head off.
That's what I mean. Like
So,
I
but,
can't
like,
even think.
If she could get to his brain
okay.
with like a long skinny finger up the nose, then maybe. So like out of 100, you might win once.
Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you.
But probably not. It's
No.
Thanos, man. He's going to smash it.
all
like,
day, every day.
He shows up with the earplugs in his nose. I'm ready for you, Kamala.
She's like, how? How did he know?
How did he know?
Master tactician.
They think Ant-Man can go in his ass and get big, and like that
Right.
would kill someone.
Possibly explode him.
I mean, if she could make her hand small and go inside of him and then make it big.
Like, stick it all thin and then have like a cartoon bubble that goes along the finger and then goes into the head and
Ooh.
pops the head.
Right? That's how she wins, bro.
Yeah, I won.
That's it. You won.
You are dead.
This
Now,
one goes to Adam.
cartoon bubble finger.
But there could be a weird like
okay,
a
so it's
Miss Marvel
comics.
fan.
So it's comics.
Well, obviously, if I'm
So-
writing a Miss Marvel comic and I want her to win,
Yeah.
she's gonna win.
I know that's a cop out. I
Yeah,
know.
it is. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking on like feats, what we know.
Yeah.
And see, a Miss Marvel fan may be able to break it down
Bring
for us
something up that
and be
we
like,
are not.
She
Yeah.
can do this with fingers or her hand and her
Her
body.
hair. Maybe she's stretching.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
like, dude,
Get
all
the
the
ten-
Chinese bad guys with crazy hair powers, them shits are crazy.
Get the tendrils of hair into like the brain, like tendrils. Or
I mean,
some shit.
what was that comic? Remember we read Rising Stars?
Yeah.
Great comic. Y'all should
It was
go check that
amazing.
out. It gets
Comic,
no
or
love.
book too, right?
Book, yeah. It gets no love. J. Michael Straczynski, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Rising Stars. But anyway, all the superheroes were getting killed in it. And the Superman guy was the one that died first. Because she put the killer put a plastic bag over his head.
Oh,
Because he
yeah.
was like, he has to breathe. And remember, he tried to be a superhero, but he was like out of shape.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah.
And he
yeah.
wasn't strong. He was just invulnerable. Like you
Vulnerable.
couldn't hurt him or kill him.
They've addressed that in comics before. How useless, or almost useless, that would be
Invulnerability
without being the strength.
And then he
everything.
said, and then he's like, I'm gonna try and play football, and he sucked because he
Yeah.
was still out of shape. And then
Yeah.
he became an insurance salesman. And was like, you can't prevent against damage like me.
"That's right."
And then breaks like a brick over his
Yeah.
head. But they just put a bag over his head to kill him because he needs to breathe.
Yeah.
So if Thanos has some basic need, like
to
oxygen
breathe or something, maybe.
or-
Yeah, I could stay on top of your face for however long it took.
I mean, if my hands are free, he's so strong. You're not.
Yeah, she's malleable and whatnot.
I'm thinking
though.
the quickest little finger turns into like a surgical tool, just little chink chink, through the ear, up the nose. If that's not possible, then there's no way she's winning. Which, in my opinion, no, I don't think.
No, even though it's me and I feel bad because I lost. And you're winning now again.
Yeah, you're not. You got no argument here.
No.
I'm trying for you.
Yeah, no, we end up doing that a lot. That's funny.
Well, yeah, because we're not like angry. We're
Yeah.
like, I just want to know.
Fudge.
I just like the fights.
Yeah.
Because we get matchups you would never. No
No.
one's ever like, what about Miss Marvel
Right.
versus Thanos? Because everyone would be like Thanos immediately.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that goes to me.
Woo! You suck.
Yeah,
That was a super fair fight.
yeah. I beat a teenage girl.
Yep.
That can make her fist bigger.
Oh, I was gonna touch you, but you killed me.
Yeah,
All right. I think
I think
that wraps it till the next time we fight.
I believe. I believe that is the show. So we'll see you on the next episode. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.